This is how to make 2026 the best year of your life. Now, if you're somebody who has big dreams, big goals, and sets intentions for the new year, but then you get to the end of the year and you look back at all the goals and all the intentions that you had and the aspirations, and you didn't accomplish any of them because life got busy and pulled you away, and you feel a little bit disappointed looking at your list, well, this video is for you. This video is also for you if you spent the last couple of years kind of half in, half out with life. You haven't really been giving it your all, and you feel this call, this desire inside to really show up and give it your all this year. This video is for you. In this video, I'm going to share with you one simple strategy that you can apply into your life that will help make 2026 the best year of your life. Now, how do I know that that's going to happen? Well, over the course of the last 7 years, I've used this strategy year after year. I went from hating my life to loving my life, from having no business to having a business that supports the lifestyle that I want to live, from going from 0 following to 31,000. And it's also something I teach in every single program I run, and something I teach in Freedom 22 and share with all my one-on-one clients. Now, I've seen this actually have tremendous results in their lives, and it's also something that my mentors and my coaches have taught me, and I know that they use to implement to get extraordinary results. What is this strategy? Well, this strategy is called the one thing, and it's actually really simple, and that's why I love it so much. We as human beings have a tendency to overcomplicate everything, and this does not need to be complicated. So what is the one thing? Well, Gary Keller was the first person who coined that term. And Gary Keller wrote the book called The One Thing, which I recommend that you read. But really, what he ended up doing was he ended up looking at all of these people in the world that have created extraordinary results. And he started asking himself questions of how did these people create those results? How did this happen? Because it's not necessarily the person, but it's what the person did and how the person acted and what the person focused on that allowed them to create the extraordinary results that they were seeing in the world. These were people like Michael Jackson, these were people like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Michael Phelps. These were singers and actors and Bill Gates and entrepreneurs that created massive change in our world. And what he saw was that all of those people, what they had in common is that they only focused on one thing. And Gary Keller saw that in the rest of the world, he saw that people spread their attention so thin, trying to change so many things, trying to do so many things and accomplish so many things, that in the progression of that, they ended up doing nothing. This is the whole idea of multitasking. And we know that research and science shows that multitasking is actually terrible for you. We as human beings are designed to focus on one thing at a time, but yet there's a part of us that likes to think that we're good at multitasking. We're not. So what Gary Keller saw was that if you want to create extraordinary results in your life, then you have to only focus on one thing at a time. And by focusing on that one thing and moving towards that one thing, what he saw was that is what would create extraordinary results in your life. And what was cool about it too is that he said that by focusing on one thing, it makes everything else that you wanted happen anyways without you having to work towards that. Let's take Michael Phelps, for example. Michael Phelps focused on swimming, and as a result of swimming, he got really good, ended up becoming, I think, the most crown decorated Olympic swimmer. And because of that, he came to a business, he came to fame, he came to a charity and a nonprofit organization. All of those things because of swimming. Now, he probably wanted all of those things, but if he tried to focus on swimming and building all of those things at the same time, it wouldn't have happened because his attention would have been spread too thin. LeBron James focused on basketball. Basketball led to fame, career, business, charities, different organizations, all that stuff because he focused on basketball. So by focusing on one thing, we allow everything else to actually happen with that one thing. And this idea comes back to kind of what a keystone habit is. Now, what a keystone habit is, it's like what's one habit that if you're to focus on actually ends up creating 3 or 4 or 5 other habits along with it. Now, an example of this would say, hey, let's say that I want to get healthy. Well, there's a lot of things in health that I can focus on. I can focus on eating better, drinking more water, sleeping better, working out, or even getting testing. And if I focus on all of those things, it's going to be pretty hard to dial in all of those things perfectly, correct? But what if there was one thing that if I focused on here would make all of these others likely to happen? Let's say that if I went to the gym 3 times a week, would I drink more water? Yeah. Would I sleep better? Yes. Would I likely eat better as well? Yes. Would I test because I feel better? Yeah, most likely. Okay, so just by focusing on one habit of working out 3 times a week, I'm actually doing all of those other things. All of those other things are just happening, and I don't have to put any attention or effort into those other things. That's what a keystone habit is. And that's what Gary Keller talks about with the one thing. We really want to find the one thing that if we focus on, will make everything in our life, everything that we're after, everything that we want happen in an easier way, or it becomes obsolete and unnecessary. We don't have to do that. How does this apply to your life? How does this apply to you and to making 2026 the best year of your life? Well, if we look at 2026, that's 1 year, 365 days. And there is one thing that if you were to focus on and you were to do in that year would make 2026 the best year of your life. And that's what we're about to find. Because once we find that, then it's committing to making and taking action towards that thing, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But I want to guide you through a meditation and a visualization just to help you really kind of step into 2026 and kind of step at the end of it and look backwards and realize like, oh wow, this was the one thing that if I was to do every single day or 3 times a week or multiple times a week would change everything for me. So take a moment, sit down, sit in your chair, take a deep breath in, and really begin just to feel your body in this space. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Doesn't matter if you're sitting, standing, or laying down. Just really just feel your body in this moment. Feel your sit bones on the chair, feel your feet on the floor if they're on the floor, feel your body on the floor. Just really feel your body in this moment. Notice if there's any tension and just breathe into that ever so gently and just allow yourself just to soften into this moment. What I invite you to do is just to put your awareness on your first fingers, your index fingers. Now without moving them, can you feel them? Can you notice them? And do the same with your big toes. Can you notice where your big toes are on your body without having to move them or wiggle them? Now bring your awareness up to your nose. Can you feel your nose without having to move it or notice it? Now can you bring your awareness to what it feels like to bring the breath into your body? What it feels like to bring the breath through your nose or your mouth? Can you feel the air come into your body? We're just taking a moment just to get present. Just feel what that feels like. And notice that with every breath that you take, you step deeper into your relaxation, step deeper into space and releasing tension and feeling kind of, well, relaxed and peaceful. Now I want you to imagine yourself that we ended up skipping a year ahead and we're at the end of 2026, December 31st. And your life has actually been incredible this year. Everything you've ever wanted has come true. And you feel joyful, you feel connected, you feel in love, you feel excited, you feel passionate, fulfilled, and happy about the life that you're living and who you are. You feel connected to yourself, to your purpose, to your mission in life, to your vision. You feel connected to something bigger than what you are, and it feels like you're part of something. You're a part of a bigger community. You feel just really inspired by your life and who you are. And you feel excited to be here. You feel excited to be alive. And it's not just you who notices this. There are other people in your life, your friends, your family, your community around you that refers and gives you feedback of like, yo, like you've changed so much. You look so good. I love what you created here. How did you do that? It's so amazing. Look how successful you are. You're successful not just on the outside, but also on the inside. How did you do it? You're so peaceful. You're so calm. You're so relaxed. Wow, that's phenomenal. And just, you really feel that this year of your life has been the best year of your life. Really own that and notice that how good that feels. To really give life your all, to show up in the fullest. Now take a moment to look back over the course of this year. And just know that that didn't happen by focusing on so many different things. It happens by focusing on one thing only. What was the one thing that you had to focus on that you changed that made 2026 the best year of your life? Now you're looking back from the point of view of looking back over the course of the year, so you're still ahead in the future. What's the one thing that you changed that made 2026 the best year of your life? And whatever comes up for you, trust that. And if nothing comes up for you or you're struggling to find that place, that's okay. Just breathe into that tension, breathe into that struggle, and allow yourself to soften around it. I'll suggest another thing afterwards that will help you. But when you have that thing, when you have that one thing that you changed that made 2026 the best year of your life, I want you to begin to feel your feet on the floor, feel your sit bones in the chair, feel the space that you're in, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, take one more big deep breath in, and let it out with an audible sigh. And then whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Now, if you got your one thing, amazing. If you didn't get a one thing in that moment, what I recommend doing is going for a walk, spending 1 hour in nature without a phone, without distractions, just you, yourself, and you. And in that space, bring the intention of what would make 2026 the best year of my life. And really sit with that question on your walk or when you spend time in nature, and an answer will come to you. Then from there, once we have this one thing, whether it's your health, whether it's your relationships, whether it's yourself, whether it's you want to experience more peace and you're just really peaceful, and that's what you ended up focusing on that made 2026 so great, so amazing, whatever it is, we have to make that actionable. We have to bring it down to what's one thing that you could do every day, one thing that you could do multiple times a week that would lead to this happening. Because if we leave it vague of like, oh, my one thing is to change my finances, well, how are you going to do that? It lacks clarity. So we're likely not going to do it. The more specific we get it, the more action we'll take. So that one thing that you got, that you changed, that made your life so much better, what is one thing that you can do every single day or multiple times a week that will lead to that one thing happening? And once you have that, what you want to do is you want to share that with somebody. You want to share that in the comments down below. We want to tell people in our world. You can even send them this video, be like, hey, I watched this video. This is my one thing. Can you help me keep me accountable to this thing? Share it with the people you love. I know that there's some words out there of like, don't share your goals because just show up and do it. The more that we share our goals, the more that we share what we're trying to create and what we're working on, the more we actually align ourselves with that very thing. And the more likely we are to accomplish it. I think it's by a stat of 43%. We're 43% more likely to accomplish it if we tell somebody and we write it down. And that action then we put on our success list. Now the success list is different from a to-do list. We have to-do lists where it's like, oh, I got to do the laundry and this and this and this, and they're just massive. We don't want to put it on our to-do list. We want to put it on a success list. And what a success list is, it's a list of 1 to 2 things. And that if we accomplish those things in the week or in the day, that means that that day has been a success. It doesn't mean that we have to accomplish all these things. It's just like if we just do those 2 things, then that means that that day is a success no matter what. And now we have a way to measure it. So you have your one thing, you have the action that you take every single day or every single week. And now it's about stepping into and owning it and ensuring that you do that every single day. Because success is sequential, which means that it's in the steps that you take every single day that leads you to knocking over or accomplishing or making 2026 the best year of your life. It's not just gonna happen. It's gonna happen by you intentionally creating and allowing it to happen. Now I'll give you an example quickly of a one thing that was from my life just to kind of show some clarity of what that could look like. So 3 years ago, I wanted to grow my coaching business. And there's a lot of things that I could focus on when I'm growing my coaching business, correct? I could build a website, I could run workshops, I could focus on reaching out to people, I could create content, I could do lots of things. So I sat with it and I was like, what is the one thing that if I was to do would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Meaning if I just focused on one thing, it would make everything else happen. It would make a coaching business totally happen. So I made a decision that my one thing was to create one single video every single day and share it on social media. Because if I was to do that and I grew an audience, well, now there's people who know what it is that I do and know who I am. Now from there, I can have conversations. I can have a website where people can go. I can host a workshop. I can host events. I don't have to focus on trying to run a workshop, trying to reach out to people. I just got to focus on one thing. And it happened in my life because I put my intention to sharing and creating one video a day. That extraordinary result actually manifested in my life. I've done this for multiple different areas. Now, what I would recommend is, remember, we can't do this for every single area. We know that we can't juggle 15 balls at once. We can max maybe juggle 3 at once. So at the top of the top, Only pick 3 areas of your life where you're going to apply this, but I would recommend only doing this with one thing at a time until you really cement accomplishing and achieving the things on your success list. Don't add stuff to your plate. If anything, take away the non-important stuff so that you can focus on what actually matters and is gonna make 2026 the best year of your life. So let's go. I hope that this video was helpful. I wanna hear what your one thing is in the comments down below. And if there's any confusion, if you need any help, if you're stuck with anything, also just share that in the comments down below. Super happy to help in any way, shape, or form that I can. And until I see you on another video, so much love. Let's go make 2026 the best year of our lives.